Say, John, aren't e-bikes super expensive?
For sure, some of them can even be as expensive as cars.
Yeah, well, darn, I really wanted to get one.
Yeah, me too.
Wait, what are those things?
Good morning everyone and welcome to Ready Steady Charge. Today we're going to be looking at one of the cheapest e-bikes out there here in the Canadian market. And today's look isn't going to be necessarily a full technical review of this e-bike, the Jetson Pro, but rather we're going to be taking them on a relatively long road trip for the battery range of this bike. It's going to be 22 kilometers from Lake Louise to Moraine Lake and back to Lake Louise again. So we'll take you along with us on our journey and show you the various aspects of this bike.
We have been riding the Jetson Pros for about 3.9 kilometers, and we have about 8 more kilometers left to go before we get to Moraine Lake. It is my first time riding this bike, so I want to give you a little bit of my first impressions. But before that, let me give you a little bit of relevant specs on this little e-bike. So on throttle power only, you can go about 25 kilometers in range. If you pedal and you use pedal assist, you'll probably get about 35 kilometers of range. The top speed you can achieve on this thing is 25 kilometers per hour. So again, specs are not super impressive compared to the, over $1,000 e-bike crowd. But it is quite good for something that costs just over $400. Yeah, that's the price of this. All the packages, all the foldability, decent range, decent maximum speed, and the fairly punchy throttle as well. So all that comes in just over 400 Canadian dollars. So what are my first impressions? Now, just a disclaimer, as you can see, we're basically riding in the middle of the road, and it's okay because this road between Lake Louise and Moraine Lake is closed for motor vehicles. So really, there are only bicycles here, and sometimes there's the occasional snowplow and other type of maintenance vehicles. But overall, very nice ride. The bike itself has really outdone my expectations for a small e-bike. Of course, it has small wheels and single gear, so a lot of the uphill sections you're going to need some help from the electric system, but that's what it's meant to do. Overall stability is very good. It responds well to turns, and despite the fact that there is no suspension, it doesn't feel too bumpy actually. I have had experiences with other bikes with small wheels, and this is not bad compared to the ones even with suspension. So overall, very impressive little bike. It's quite punchy and kind of a fun ride. I know today we're kind of taking it out on a bit of a challenge because this is mostly designed for a city commuter, but we're taking it out on the road, going for about a 20-kilometer trip in total. So we'll check back in when we're closer to Moraine Lake. So we've just ridden through some patches of snow actually. I mean, it's not soft snow, it's hardened snow. But the Jetson seemed to handle okay. I mean, would I prefer to have a bike with fat tires? Of course. But with still small wheels and well-controlled rider, then I think it's actually not bad. You know, I wouldn't take this off-roading, I wouldn't take this into the worst winter conditions ever, but it's doing just fine. All right, we have a little bit more of packed snow here. Let's see how we do. Yeah, like as long as you're not too aggressive with the throttle and you maintain balance, it's not terrible. Yeah, good. All right, got a little bit more of that coming up. Let's do it again. All right, the Jetson did quite well there. Well, it looks like this is as far as we're gonna get because the highway was not all plowed. So we're only about 3 kilometers away from Moraine Lake, but this is what we're looking at. So see, packed snow, and down there is where the highway is plowed. So ain't no way we're gonna get there on bike. And we did try, so.
Well, may the power of Elon assist me on this trip.
Yep.
I will see you in Moraine Lake.
Good luck, John.
I can do it. Come on. Okay, I guess not.
No, yeah, there's no way you can actually ride a bicycle on this. It's digging itself into the snow, so. So, something else I want to show is that despite the fact that the advertised range for the Jetson is probably 20 to 30 kilometers, mine actually ran out of juice. So click on that, the green light comes on and it disappears and there's no more juice. Now John's, however, has 2 bars of power, so I'm not too sure what's going on. Maybe I'm heavier and I use more juice. I mean, of course, going through that slippery snow is going to use more power, but it didn't quite make sense that one ran out so much quicker than the other. So we have some theories, one of which is maybe this bike's battery is not as good as the other one, or the other thing could be that we did leave them outside overnight, so the battery would have been cold. Is the Jetson cold gating? Who knows? Maybe. So going back, it's mostly downhill, and when we're coming here, it's mostly uphill. So hopefully I'm not gonna really need the extra power. So yeah, let's go back to Lake Louise. Okay, so we're almost at the end of our bike trip here, and something interesting happened with my bike, which, as you would recall, previously had ran out of juice. So what happened was, just before we got here, there was power again. I got 2 bars, and then I used it, and then it's fully drained again. So John's bike over there experienced kind of similar things, where previously he had 1 bar, and then after some time he got 2 bars. So what we think happened is the battery was just really cold and was not able to supply so much power. But as we rolled it, it warmed up, and then it was able to give us a little more juice.
So this brings us to the end of our road trip, as well as our review of the Jetson Pro. Now, today, unfortunately, we did not get to take the Jetson all the way out to the beautiful, pristine Moraine Lake. However, we were still able to take the Jetson Pro, remember it's meant more for urban city environments, to its absolute limits. And that's both in terms of road condition, where we saw very slippery ice and snow, as well as the general temperature. We were ranging about 0 to 5 degrees Celsius today, where the Jetson's battery really wasn't designed for that type of temperature. But don't worry, because our full review of the Jetson Pro will come out in the next few months as the weather hopefully warms up, and we'll take it and review it and explore its full potential. If you like our video today, please click like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.